Café Anyway.
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
It is! And this is Mike Matthews. Hello, welcome to this podcast, the one and
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The one and only podcast that broadcasts podcasts from Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley today. And we're here at the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, featuring all kinds of topicas to bring to you, like a Topica cream that you put on your skin to make your skin feel better.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
You spread a little of us in your ear. Wait. Okay, that's odd. It's episode
Mike's
2778
Podcast.
2778.
Yeah!
I got interrupted by a bunch of stuff this week, so I was not able to completely be daily. I was kind of close, and then bam, things happened this week. And then the time change, and now I'm all off, and now we're all at a greater risk of having heart attacks. This is that time of year with the time change, the spring forward, it increases by some crazy percentage. So be careful out there, be good to yourselves. Don't eat a lot of fat. I say that right after I went and ate a mozzarella on a stick dipped in hot oil, but it was slathered with mochi dough and little bits of sweet potato. It was a place called Myangrang Hot Dog Dublin. Myangrang, I think it is. I hope that you don't pronounce it like my migraine. My angry migraine hot dog. No, it's probably Myangrang. And there's 16 of them, I found out. This is not a plug, although it slightly sounds like one. Here, I'll give you a slug. There's only 16 of them, so they're really hard to find.
And here's today's podcast picture.
But the lady was more than nice to me, and when that happens, I maybe mention them on my podcast, that kind of thing. That's how it works. Niceness gets rewarded. Even though I paid for the hot dog, which was almost $7, which wasn't a hot dog, it was a mozzarella stick dipped in hot oil, which is probably not good for you either. And then they give you all these wonderful sauces you can dip it in, like a spicy sweet sauce, and then some kind of thing called cheddar. It was a cheddar sauce. I don't quite understand how that worked, because it wasn't melted cheddar. Was it cheddar flavored? I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. Café Anyway, the late great Basil the Boxer. Actually, not too far away from this place in Dublin is the animal. I hesitate to call it a pound, but it is the animal services department, whatever they call that, in Dublin. I remember I had to go there once with him because I had to get his tags renewed. And I went ahead and yes. Let's cheer the late great Basil the Boxer. I went ahead and paid for like 3 extra years, and unfortunately he did not live to see those 3 extra years. I was being hopeful. I figured, hey, let's hope for the best. But anyway, Café Anyway, in the short amount of time he was on this planet, we had a great time together. But the podcast picture's not of him this time, although we did have one of him last podcast. I believe that podcast... It had a funny name, made those guys laugh that you just heard just now, from the 1950s. It was called Smile. Yes, we had a picture of Basil on there from Fairmont Ridge. See that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. Go to mikesdailypodcast.com because I pay for it. I think I spent about $300 this year on it. So I think that's becoming a yearly thing. Yikes. So, but it's worth it because I love to podcast. Maybe you love to listen to this podcast. If you do, you don't say a dang thing about it.
Wow, Shuts, wow.
Yeah, you keep it to yourself, Shuts. That's right, Shuts. That's a German thing. Means treasure. Mom used to call me Shuts. My late mom. I don't think she even listened to the podcast. I don't think she understood what podcasts were, even though I explained to her a million times. But her wonderful friend Winky, who I never met in person, but I let her know because she knew my mom and had lunch with her many times. I let her know the sad news that she was gone. Winky started sending me emails of funny little things, little jokes. And so that was
Newsbleed section.
Yeah, when I told her about my podcast, she's like, "Oh, I listen to podcasts." I'm thinking, wow, yes, you can listen to podcasts and be older. That's a good thing. Okay, I want to address the elephant in the room. Why on earth would you go to a football game that is so cold that you get extreme frostbite? Why? That happened recently in January, the bitterly cold Kansas City Chiefs playoff game.
Yo, the mic tip.
Check out this tip. A lot of people got tips amputated and other things. It's terrible. Back-to-back champions Chiefs launched their 2023-2024 postseason run with a 26-7 victory over the Miami Dolphins on January 13th in a game that might be remembered as much for temperature readings than the final score. The mercury plummeted to -3 with a wind chill of -25 at halftime. It was played at Arrowhead Stadium, and the Grossman Burn Center in Kansas City treated 30 patients who
Pretty
suffered.
interesting.
Yes, they suffered frostbite. So 12 patients had undergone amputation surgeries. So, who is this person? Christine Hamley, the vice president of HCA Midwest Health, which operates 7 hospitals and part of the Grossman Burn Center. She cautioned against drawing any direct lines between amputations.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if amputations is a source of laughter, but, well, she did not. She cautioned against drawing any direct lines between amputations and that frigid Chiefs game because those frostbitten limbs and digits could have resulted from other exposures. The Arrowhead Stadium holds 79,000 plus fans, and considering the temperatures that day and the wind chill, 10 weather-related transports was an extremely low amount.
Mike's scavenger hunt.
Said the Kansas City, I'm looking for the scavenger hunt here, Kansas City Fire Department's battalion chief. Okay. All that from NBC News. Interesting. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, Podcastro Valleyton. And then there was all this talk last week that I missed, and probably I understandably, purposefully missed all the chit-chat about the State of the Union.
For your entertainment, the one, the only, Mike Matthews!
That was beautiful. So, yes, Biden gave his State of the Union speech, and, of course, conservatives hated it, Republicans hated it, Democrats cheered, and just the things that people nitpick about Biden, if anything smacks of age, he's old, then it's ridiculous. And there's a guy I listen to. I listen to a lot of talk show hosts, a lot of podcasts, a lot of different folk. This radio guy.
Ridiculous random host.
Oh, he's just ridiculous. Nothing random about him. And he does this business talk show. And I had to write him. I went to his website and I wrote him. Now he's got my email address and he can harvest that for all kinds of money. So in the end, he wins. But he just goes on and on about Biden. But it's not like he loves Trump. He hates Trump. He bashes Trump. He calls the Republicans Republicans because they're con artists. And he hates all the politicians. But it should be a show. It's supposed to be a show about investments, investing. But instead he just bashes Biden, because then he gets on Fox News.
What's the cliche of the week?
Yes, he gets welcomed by
What's the cliche of the week?
the British guy on Fox News.
What's the cliche of the week?
Something Barney, Stuart Barney.
What's the cliche of the week?
Barney goes to the Fox News channel and does a show that is wildly popular. So he gets on because he bashes Biden. I asked him, is that the reason why you bash Biden so much? So we'll see if he responds. But the rest of the song goes like this.
What's the cliche of the week?
Yes, what's the cliche?
What's the cliche of the week?
Bashing old people.
What's the cliche of the week?
That's fun until you become old.
What's the cliche of the week?
Then when you're old, think about what you just said about bashing old people. Because now you're old. You're going to bash yourself? I hope so. I hope all these Republicans that bash Biden, bash old people, bash their heads against the wall when they're older and go, why did I do that? Now I'm old. Now I forget things. Now my sentences that I say live in front of a bunch of people sometimes sound like gobbledygook. Okay. Well, but while I was young, I bashed Biden. Woohoo for me. Bully for me. No one remembers you now.
Random.
Yes, that's so random. News random. Well, this news story unfolded. The U.S. military personnel airlifted Americans out of Haiti and the American embassy in Haiti. The island is spiraling into violence. At the request of the Department of State, the U.S. military conducted an operation to augment the security of the U.S. Embassy at Port-au-Prince, allowing embassy mission operatives to continue and enable non-essential personnel to depart. Dangerous area. Is this going to be a Benghazi? Is this going to be...
Might rip someone a new one.
Even though Biden was in office during Benghazi, but Hillary got most of the blame for that. And they brought that up over and over again when she ran for president. That and her emails. Do you remember that? Do you remember that time? Do you remember that? And Democrats trying to defend her? Oh, Republicans skewered them. Oh, how dare you? And now they defend Trump as it's like a travesty of justice that he's been all these separate
The Micropedia in Zanica.
court cases. It is in Zanica. I'm going through. I know you're as tired of hearing about it as I. So let us move on. Haiti has recently seen mass prison escapes and gunfire at its main airport, central bank, and national soccer stadium. Gangs in the country have led a series of coordinated attacks in an effort to overthrow Haiti's authorities. Wyclef Jean is from Haiti, and the band The Fugees from Haiti. And
Matthews News.
Wyclef, very talented musician, I think also ran for office there, did he actually hold office? Was he in a position of political power there? I forget, but Haiti has always had all these issues, and the earthquakes certainly don't help, and extreme poverty, and there's a long history of just France and other countries treating them so badly. So I won't go into that here, for I am not knowledgeable enough. But for some reason, I'm knowledgeable about football game amputations. Or so it would seem. Or maybe I'm knowledgeable.
I just want to thank everyone for joining us here on this show. This is great.
Thank you. Maybe I'm knowledgeable about Gen X women. Amazon certainly is. Amazon is the second largest retailer in the world, right after Walmart. Did you know that? Walmart's number one. Product sales were nearly $256 billion last year. And there's 1,363 Amazon distribution centers, fulfillment centers, and other facilities in the U.S. They're building them all the time here in the Bay Area. There's 1,176 in other countries around the world. 8 out of 10.
MTV News. You hear it first.
I'm Kurt Loder, and this is the latest news about Amazon News. And the latest about David Bowie, who is releasing a new tour album and is going to be touring with Tina Turner this year, promoting Pepsi products. I'm Kurt Loder. I'm the coolest news journalist on the planet. And stay tuned to this and for more of your favorite music videos coming up next. MTV News, you hear it first. I watched a lot of MTV in the 80s and 90s. I did not have MTV for most of the 80s. Mom would not pay for cable. It was only what we could...
Well, I like it.
I know.
Whiny white man wine list.
Wah! I did not have cable until we moved to Oxnard, California. Until then, it was always rabbit ears and whatever the antenna could pick up. But then in Oxnard, California, we got cable. And then, oh my gosh, wow, there's other channels we can watch. But then the thing about Amazon, I go back to that. Oh, yeah, I didn't get to watch MTV, but I had friends that had MTV. And then I was going, wow, that's a cool music video. That's a crazy one. Who's Weird Al Yankovic? That's awesome.
Baloney.
Yeah, and then there was the thing with later on when I was in college, we decided, I had the 3 roommates, between the 4 of us, we split and bought cable and watched MTV, and then I'm watching all the time all these hair bands. Hair bands were big at that point. But lots of Kurt Loder. Lots of Kurt Loder. Amazon's typical shopper is a white Gen X woman, earning about 60,000.
Mike's absolutely useless review.
60,000 per year. Amazon, I will say, the thing Amazon is brilliant with is they figured out a way to help you get points or to use your points from other things with Amazon. So if you get rewarded for your credit card or get rewarded through your company's health program, you can easily put the money into Amazon, and it just makes it so easy. But Amazon has their evil ways, as you know. And they will see a product that's selling really well, then they'll make their own product and put that company out of business. The small business person gets put out of business often by Amazon. It's terrible. 8 out of 10 U.S. shoppers bought something from Amazon in the past year. The typical customer makes 72 orders at an average cost of about $37. That's an annual spend of about $2,662. Amazon shoppers' favorite product categories on Amazon are cell phone accessories. Ooh, that's right. I need to get a new cell phone charger. Thanks for reminding me, Mike. See? Dang. Because right now, my lovely lady friend and I are constantly fighting over the dang cell phone charger.
What in the world was that about?
It's not fair. It's what it is about. People also, the other favorite product categories on Amazon are cell phone accessories, cases, and chargers, as well as medical supplies and small kitchen appliances. That's right. I just bought, and I just about destroyed it yesterday, a juicer. I probably could have spent a little more money for a better quality juicer, because this puppy was smoking, and all I was doing was trying to juice a lime. So, I don't know. I was going to return it, and then I go, I'm already used to this. But, dang, it's temperamental. So, see, Amazon's laughing all the way to the bank with me. Boomers and Gen X shoppers, I am a Gen Xer. Had I been born a little bit earlier, a couple years earlier, I'd have been a boomer. Are also increasingly fans of Amazon's Chinese-owned challenger, the Chinese-owned challenger named Temu. That all from Rob Black. I produce his podcast, The Rob Black Show. Fascinating stuff that he does. He's threatening to do a new podcast. Oh, Dilly's here. What? Okay. Gonna have to see if Benita is around.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, Gift Shop Supervisor. No, Benita's not around. It's just me. I was taking care of Nilly the horse. I'm horse napping, Mike Matthews.
You mean horse sitting?
I'm not horse napping. I'm horse sitting, Mike Matthews.
Is that when you're horse napping? Does that mean you're sleeping on top of a horse? Which might be difficult to do. You could easily roll off and hurt yourself.
Mike Matthews, these are all amazing questions, Mike Matthews.
Yes. Hey, Chely, did you hear they're going to make a Barbie land in Arizona? That gives so many people an actual reason to go to Arizona other than the Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, all the Route 66 thing, or for some of you, Route 66. Oh, in Santa Fe. Oh, that's in New Mexico.
Mike Matthews, I don't know, but someday I will go to Arizona and I will see the Barbie amusement park that they're making, Mike Matthews. That thing you were eating looked really delicious, Mike Matthews, with the mozzarella and the sweet potatoes. Did you have fun with your friends Robert and Christy last night?
I did. I invited Robert and Christy over last night, and then my job decided to wake me up at 3 in the morning. And then, of course, we had the jump in the time, and I lost an hour's sleep. And I'm in a bad mood, so don't ask me any more questions, Chely, because I won't answer them. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman!
And this is John Deere, the engineer. Yes, sometimes computers act weird when you jump forward and spring forward in time.
That's right. And then the mechanism in my brain is still off. I'm thinking it's an hour earlier than it is, but enough of my whiny white man wine list stuff. The other interesting things Rob pointed out, and he does a radio show Monday through Friday in the 8 o'clock hour on AM 1220 KDOW, and he is also heard in the 6 o'clock hour. And then he is also, I did that backwards chronologically, but then later in the day in the 9 o'clock hour, he is seen on Cron TV Monday through Thursday. I think that just about covers it all. Regulators have capped credit card late fees. The typical late fee on a credit card payment will drop from $32 all the way down to $8. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has capped them at $8, and I hear Republicans already whining about that. The cap will save American families more than $14 billion a year in late fees. Hey, America, you just got a $14 billion raise, or $220 per year for each of the 45 million people who pay them. Late fees have ballooned into a $14 billion industry as of 2 years ago. That is more than 10% of the $130 billion card issuers charged consumers in interest and fees, and the average late fee charged by large card companies ticked up from $23 in 2010 to $32 2 years ago. Elon Musk claims that the new Tesla Roadster will be able to go from 0 to 60 in under a second. Now, doing the quick math in my head, the last time I went from 0 to 60 in under a second, I was on a roller coaster. And actually, I don't think I've ever gone from 0 to 60 in under a second, because that'd probably snap my neck. But whatever. Good luck with that, Elon. I could just see the lawsuits filing in. Target launched $49 for the Target 360 membership. That's what it is. Target 360 will include free same-day delivery for orders over $35. Hey, that kind of sounds like Amazon. It certainly does. Sure does. $35 in as little as 1 hour, and 2 free day shipping along with other perks. My lovely lady friend does have Amazon Prime, is a Gen Xer that loves to shop on Amazon, and one day recently she ordered something and got the thing the same day. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That just happened? She said, yep. Wow. So people like that membership when they get that kind of expediency, not to be confused with Expedia, which is never a place I buy plane tickets, because if I find something cheap there, I'll usually go straight to the airline, and I never book United or American for obvious reasons. Stuff falls off their planes! And I'm flying in a week, so I really don't want that to happen, obviously. But it seems like those airlines are the ones with the particular catastrophes happening. So, but yes, I'll go right to the airline to book the flight. Big box retailers, they're going small. Best Buy, Whole Foods, IKEA, Nordstrom, and Macy's are going to try to boost in-person business in the post-pandemic online shopping era by opening smaller, streamlined locations. The Macy's in Union Square, home of the Cheesecake Factory. The only one I know of that sits on top of a building. Usually they're down at ground level, but this one is way up on the tippy top, and you can overlook the Union Square, and it's a really beautiful San Francisco location. But that's at the top of that Macy's that's going to be closing possibly next year or the year after that. There's just so much crime in San Francisco. Now, I was there about 3 weeks ago, and, well, I survived. It was not walking through Escape from New York land with Kurt Russell leading me through to safety. But no, it was fine. But Macy's is getting out. Nordstrom's got out. A lot of big. It is looking more like a ghost town. You have all this huge infrastructure, and now all these places are leaving. All these places are empty. Which on one side of it, maybe that will kill all of this crime because now there's nothing for them to rob. So maybe those individuals will move out, will move along. And I know London Breed is doing stuff to try and crack down on all that. Finally, yes, even Democrats can be tough on crime. Well, if that happens, there is a lot of opportunity for growth. And it is San Francisco we're talking about. And when San Francisco has its growth spurts, my, oh my, a lot of money is made. So just saying, don't completely disregard. Watch this space is what I'm saying. Elon Musk loses the title of the world's richest person to Jeff Bezos. There we go. So from one guy who wants us to go from 0 to 60 in under a second to another guy who wants to get us stuff delivered to us in under a second. There you go. Jeff Bezos' net worth currently sits at $200 billion ahead of Musk, who is just slightly behind at $198 billion. And then Bernard Arnault, the founder of French luxury goods conglomerate LVMH. He is just behind Musk at $197 billion. And now it is time for the amazing segment called Let's Go Back with Matthews.
Let's go back with Matthews.
Cassette copy hole.
Here's where we get a little bit nostalgic in our nostrils, and we smell some of that ancient times in the radio world. Yours truly found a bunch of cassettes, and I was talking to a friend that I worked with in Ventura, California, Darren McPeak, who's now up in Canada at Mountain FM, and he is one of the coolest guys I ever worked with in radio, and I have not talked to him in over a decade, so it was great to get caught up. And he's like, hey, you're doing that really popular podcast, Mike's Daily Podcast. And I go, yeah, I think I got one listener, and it might just be me. Maybe when I click play on it, it thinks that there's a different listener. I guess it doesn't disqualify me. So he said to me, hey, some of the stuff you did back in the 90s and the O's on K-Hey were amazing. That was amazing radio, man. And I thought about it, and I said, hey, he's right. Oh, and we also reminisced about how we saw Taylor Swift play on a tiny little stage in Ventura, right near the fairgrounds, in this park, open to everyone to see. This was early 2000s. And he was surfing, because the beach was right there, and he went surfing, and there was Taylor Swift, and then I went backstage and talked with her mom for a while. Yes, and here she is, bigger than the sky. Bigger than air, this woman. Huge. Let's see how big her next album is. She is so big that when she tells people to go out and vote, it makes Republicans crack. They crack. Because they're like, no, don't say anything, Taylor. Don't get your people that listen to you to go out and vote, because they might vote for Biden. Because we know you and Biden are friends. No. Yeah. It makes them just shiver and shake. Crazy. And you know who else does? Another woman. Basically any woman. But the one woman that really makes Republicans shake in their shoes is Michelle Obama. And then she recently said, no, I am not running for president. So that made him go in a collective, whoo. But hey, there was the woman that gave the retaliatory, what do you call it, speech? The Republican response from Alabama. She's huge in Alabama. And it's so big, in fact, Scarlett Johansson recently did a special homage to her on Saturday Night Live. So, yes. And that made all the news today. Wow. Did you see Scarlett Johansson? She actually did Katie Britt on TV. The SO2 rebuttal. That's what they call it. Okay. That's pretty much all the news there. So, oh yeah, we're going back in time. I got sidetracked by news. Dang, news. You're so distracting. Okay, here we go. This is some early radio stuff. KHAY, Y97, KKUR. I think there's even a little KNJO. But most of these stations are gone. So let's listen, shall we? Take a trip down memory lane. This is all in the Ventura County, Santa Barbara area of California. All coastal. So that's cool. Oh, before we do that, though, there is something that I did get from Winky. She writes, so the new CEO decides it's time to rid the company of slackers. On a tour of the facilities, he notices a guy leaning against the wall. The room was full of workers. Seeing a chance to show he meant business, he says to the guy, how much money do you make a week? A little surprised, the young man says, I make $400. Why? The CEO says, wait right here. He walks back to his office, comes back in 2 minutes. He hands the guy $1,600 in cash and says, here's 4 weeks' pay. Now get out and don't come back. Feeling like a boss now, the CEO looks around and says, does anyone want to tell me what the goofball's job was around here? From across the room, a voice says, not a guy, but someone says, pizza delivery guy from Domino's. Ah, thank you, Winky. See? Sometimes saying you mean business means giving a bunch of money away to some complete stranger. How nice of you.
Hey there, lonely girl. This is 105.5 KKUR. We're working on 45 minutes of back-to-back better music on 105.5 KKUR with Paula Abdul.
Wow, Mike in his 20s.
105.5 KKUR, better music. Elton John, sad song, Say So Much. Ahead of that, Paula Abdul, Rush Rush. Eddie Holman, Hey There, Lonely Girl. And Lionel Richie with Running With the Night. It's time for Creedence Clearwater Revival on KKUR.
Oh my gosh!
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, oh, where'd that come from?
Survivor! Oh, this video was so ridiculous.
Better music, KKUR. Mike Matthews with you on your Sunday morning. You know, Wayne and Garth from Saturday Night Live's popular Wayne's World are about to make it big. They've got a new book and a new movie on the way, both entitled Wayne's World, and we're going to finally find out what not means, I guess.
Oh.
If they're willing to tell us.
Was that Maxie Priest and Roberta Flack? Yeah. Mike Myers and Dana Carvey sure cashed in, didn't they? Okay, I think this might be... That was KKUR. That was in Ventura. That's gone now. 105.5, which I think turned into Live 105.5. But it was a country station for a while. Thunder 105. That's right. And here's a little bit earlier. So that was 30 years ago. That was in the early 90s. And then this is 1990... So just after the 80s on Y97 in Santa Barbara.
this?
Hey, this is Michelle.
Michelle, where are you calling from tonight?
Alma Vista.
Michelle, you win!
All right.
Your choice now, it's your choice. What do you want? Lita Ford, Sweet Sensation, or Belle Biv DeVoe?
Oh, DeVoe.
DeVoe.
Yeah.
All right, Michelle, what's your favorite radio station?
Y97.
Oh, Sinead O'Connor. MC Hammer.
Music 197 and Mike Matthews rolling through 15 in a row. A song written by Tom Waits, sung by Rod Stewart. Here's Downtown Train on 197.
Yeah, this is definitely 1990. Dang.
Most Music 197 and Mike Matthews. Kicking off another 15 in a row with Paula Abdul and some bad English on the way, so stick around for that. The Braille Institute can help determine if you need visual help. For the number, give us a call on the hit lines at 965-9797.
Most Music Y90.
Most Music 197 and Mike Matthews rolling through 15 in a row. You know it's National Burn the Burger on the Barbecue Week, kicking it all off with National Burn the Burger on the Barbecue Day. So if you'd like to make a request in honor of this very prestigious holiday, why don't you give me a call at 965-9797. Here's Depeche Mode and enjoy the silence on 197.
Hey, there was some Taylor Dane. Back when anyone named Taylor was popular, the only one was Taylor Dane.
Most Music 197 and Mike Matthews. It is 1:16 if you're late for curfew. Sorry. Feel sorry for you. It's a winner's choice free music weekend. Be listening all weekend long for your chance to win your choice of either Lita Ford, Sweet Sensation, or Belle Biv DeVoe. A winner's choice free music weekend for Most Music 197.
Some Van Halen there. And now we jump over to the early O's just about 20 years ago, and when I was doing country, and the one that Darren was talking about, the Cahey Santa Fe Cafe, the
Lone Star, had a Lone Star. We heard Faith Hill's new one, Cry. It is Matt Michaels at the Cahey Santa Fe Cafe, and yes, I think we should venture into the nether regions of the cafe to see Madame Rutabaga.
Thank you, Master. I feel so emotional that people are welcoming me with the happy clapping noise. Master.
Hello, it's Cahey. 100.7, the best radio country station in the state of California, Ventura County, anyhow.
Who is that man? I think that I must ask him out on a date because I'm lonely.
Okay.
Or you could do it for me.
No.
Okay.
Do you know where you're going? The new one from Michael Peterson, Modern Man. Trisha Yearwood, There Goes My Baby. Ahead of that, Matt Michaels, Put a Ravola on a Friday and a whole darn week. Number one on the top 8 at 8. Cry by Faith Hill. Tonight in the Cahey 9 o'clock preview room, it was the Friday night fights and the preview champ of the week ending Friday, September 20th, year 2002. Terry Clark's new one called I Just Wanna Be Mad. Monday night in the 9 o'clock preview room, the new one from Gary Allen. And after that, the Cahey Santa Fe Cafe. The Cahey Cafe question will be, since it will be the first day of fall, will be, what is your favorite thing about fall? After midnight next with Whitney Allen, give her a call, 1-800-722-NITE. I will be back tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock with a look back on all the stuff that happened this week on the Cahey Weekend Review. And then I'll also be back Sunday morning from 6 to 8 with the Cahey Looking Back Breakfast. And at 10 o'clock Sunday night with the Cahey Santa Fe Cafe Review. Here's Felix the Bus Driver. Felix!
Next stop, the KHAY studios.
Matt Michaels has left the building.
Conversation like a television set on honeymoon. Unnecessary.
Hello, it's Cahey. 100.7, the best radio country station in the state of California, or Ventura County, anyhow.
KHAY.
People were drunk when they listened to my show back then. Maybe they're drunk now. There was some Peter Sellers doing some inappropriate cultural appropriations. So what I'm saying is I wasn't really there at 6 in the morning doing those shows, but hey, that was all part of K-Hey in Ventura, which still exists. That radio station's still around. The other two we heard from do not. But you know what? It is time now. It is time now for the Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. You've gotten this far in the podcast now. you get to actually hear some new music that you never heard before. One from Mia Dyson, who emailed me, "Dear ones, it's here. I'm so grateful for all your support and love. Nothing fills my hopelessly tender heart more than hearing your experiences and seeing your smiling faces at the shows. I hope this record is healing for all those who listen, as it was for me to create." That's how I gotta get fans, is I gotta be nice like that. I gotta be overjoying and over-complimenting to my fans and tell them how much they mean to me and how wonderful and how I cry every second that I know that there's a listener to this podcast. That's what I need to know. Thank you, Mia. That's what I need to do. Let's listen to her song that is called Dare. Mia Dyson is her name. Dare, and that's the name of the song, Dare. Okay, do you like that song, or do you like song number 2, which is by Dark Mean? Hi, Mike. The main guitar riff on the track we'd been messing around with for a while, and when I say for a while, I mean years. The melody is simple. We jam it in the garage. We'd think there was something there, but it would never come together. Then we'd go our separate ways, back to our regular lives in different cities, and the idea would get lost somewhere on someone's iPhone. We rediscovered this idea recently as a voice memo after Sandy made the trek from Ottawa to Hamilton to hang and jam. This is the result. Okay, it is Dark Mean and a song called Working Hard.
You never came through. I think you should.
There, a little bit of that. Working Hard by Dark Mean.
You got a lot to say. I'll tell you what.
It kind of has that Americana sound, like the Jason Isbell and all that. Okay, and then finally Toddy is this one. Hi, Mike. My song Wounded is inspired by abusive relationships that I have been in. I wanted to capture that specific time when you first know you're in an abusive relationship but don't know how to leave it. This song isn't an anthem or hope. It's a raw take on the complexities of abusive relationships. Not that this has anything to do with that, but yesterday I met Avril Lavigne. No, but it was a woman that looked just like Avril Lavigne, like what she looks like now. Basically, she was about the same height. I have met Avril Lavigne. I met her in 2007. She was releasing an album that I don't know. I know she had some hit songs off of it. I don't know what they were, but yes. And why on earth has the Miley Cyrus song Flowers become the number one song in all of history, in all of creation and Grammys and all that? It's an okay song lyrically. We can all agree with the idea of having self-care and believing in yourself and all that, but still, it is the most... It sounds like someone just, here, throw this out there and it'll be a hit song and no one will really notice it, but it'll just be there. Because every radio station plays it. It has no intro. It just starts and then it just ends. And it's just a basic song. There's anything absolutely... Like her singing is... Anybody can sing that song. It's in an okay key. We can all sing it. Maybe that's why it was a hit. We can all sing it. We can all believe in it. We all know who Miley Cyrus is from her years of this and that and gossip and whatnot. So, I've just answered my own question. Okay, but Avril Lavigne is working at a store somewhere in the East Bay. I won't say exactly where to preserve her privacy, but her name is actually something that kind of sounds like Avril, but is not Avril. But this young lady working was scanning the items, and we were paying for the items, and before every sentence, I don't know if this is a Tourette's thing. I mean, it is probably an absolute possible diagnosis. My lovely lady friend is a therapist. She did not give me her exact opinion on it or her diagnosis, but before every sentence she did this. There's your receipt. There's your bag. It's like some nondescript word. She might have been even saying Alanis, like as in Alanis Morissette, who Avril Lavigne ripped off. So, being that they're both Canadian and both did songs that, well, Avril's songs sound very familiar to, similar to Avril's stuff from Jagged Little Pill, some of her ballady stuff. Who knows? At any rate, that is something that I actually experienced. And maybe I'll have my lovely lady friend on the show to further discuss and diagnose. And, this is that song we were previously discussing called Wounded. Boy, I took the air out of these sails.
With the time without you by my side, now we're left with open sores. We're just wounded, but I just can't let us fail halfway.
Toddy. Wounded. Okay, well, I hope things work out for Toddy. All right, which one do you like better? Hot Toddy. I get it. Meal Dyson, Dark Mean, or Toddy? Which one did you like better? And you can let me know at the email address or the phone number. Oh, I'll give you the email address in just a moment, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. That was a quick moment. And Marset will also hear the phone number now.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for All.
And with more ways to reach me, it is A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!